right. Okay. Can everybody see? It's clear? Okay, so today is our second part of our strength workshop. Today we're going to cover rest and recovery, and I would say you're in for a treat, right? We're going to cover nutrition, recovery, sleep, and something called auto-regulation. A lot of people are not familiar with. And nutrition is a personal passion of mine, so literally you're in for a treat. Pun completely intended, right? Next slide. So when we talk about nutrition to enhance recovery, the first thing that comes to mind would be protein, right? Protein is the number one macronutrient. So the three main macronutrients are split into three main groups, right? Protein, carbs, and fat. And protein will be the number one macronutrient that is very important for recovery. That is because protein, basically what protein does is it increases muscle protein synthesis, which in the long run builds muscle. So there are two things that increases muscle protein synthesis. The first one will be resistance exercise. Second will be consumption of protein. In my graph, you can see two different diagrams. And the first diagram is basically muscle protein synthesis. Area below the curve, it's basically muscle protein breakdown. So this minus this plus this minus this, that balance will be zero, right? I mean, area above the curve minus area under the curve, at the end of the day is zero. But what the magical thing about resistance exercise is resistance exercise sensitizes our muscle for higher levels of muscle protein synthesis. So this is just regular resting state. Consumption of protein will increase muscle protein synthesis this much. Fasting, that means when you're not eating protein, muscle protein breakdown, right? But the magical thing about resistance exercise is resistance exercise basically sensitizes muscle protein synthesis. So if you look at the difference, this compared to this, on the graph below, it has a higher area under the curve, right? Whereas muscle protein synthesis breakdown remains the same. That would mean that at the end of the day, the net balance of muscle protein synthesis minus breakdown will be positive. And a positive net balance will create muscle growth. And that is why protein is so important. And to induce muscle hypertrophy means muscle growth. Net balance of protein synthesis needs to be positive, right? And a little bit of how do we achieve maximum muscle protein synthesis? Basically, maximum muscle protein synthesis can be achieved through this. Muscle protein synthesis is triggered by an amino acid called leucine. So if you look in your protein tubs or your amino acids, you buy those kind of supplements, you look behind and you see leucine in one of them, right? Maximum muscle protein synthesis is triggered with around roughly 2.1 to 2.5 grams of leucine, right? That triggers the maximum amount of muscle protein synthesis. And any more leucine, it doesn't go higher. That's a threshold, right? When it hits the threshold, that's where it stops. So roughly a serving of whey protein, right, would give you a maximum trigger of muscle protein synthesis if you're individual, right? So that's basically how muscle protein synthesis can be triggered. Next slide. So protein consumption to put on muscle mass. So basically, this is, we talk about the, in colloquial terms, bulking, right? How much protein should we consume to bulk? And what I've written here is 1.5 grams to 2 grams per kilo of body weight, right? Of course, the range, you can fall anywhere in between the range. And I personally, I love eating my protein. I love my meat. I love my beef. I love my steak. So I would tend to go on the higher end of protein consumption. But does that mean eating 2 grams of protein would be better than somebody eating 1.8 grams of protein? Not necessarily, right? Like I said, there is a threshold. Doesn't mean the more I consume, the more muscle I grow. If that's the case, all we have to do is just lift a lot of weight and just eat like steroids will no longer need to exist, right? Because we grow infinite amount of muscle. And the fact is this, because when we are putting on muscle mass, what we need to know is that we are on a calorie surplus, which means we're consuming more calories than we burn, right? And that will allow building of muscle, right? That's very, very important. You need to consume more calories than you burn so that your body has enough energy to build muscle. And because of that, protein intake isn't as high compared to when we are trying to lose weight, right? So that's something you need to know, is that people always say, oh, to build more muscle, I need extremely high amounts of protein. Not true, right? Many, many studies have proven, even for highly trained athletes, that 1.5 grams to 2 grams of protein per kilo body weight is sufficient for muscle growth. So if people tell you any more, they are probably trying to push certain supplements, right? They say, oh, you need to take this much protein because, yeah, you buy this supplement, so you won't get enough protein. So they try to push certain supplement, or they might have a hidden, or they could be not aware of the research. But based on current research, 1.5 to 2 grams of protein per kilo body weight is sufficient, right? Right. But that is for muscle mass, right? When it comes to losing weight, the balance is a little bit more delicate. Right? The goal here, the goal of protein, consuming protein when you're trying to lose weight is this. What you need to understand is that you're in a deficit, right? You're in a deficit means you're consuming less energy than you're expending, which means your body needs energy from somewhere. And if protein consumption is not enough, your body will try to consume and take energy from muscle. Simple as that, right? And you don't want that, and that's the reason why the goal of consuming protein when you're losing weight is to maintain protein spares lean muscle, and consuming protein during a weight loss phase will prevent muscle wastage. So, other benefits to protein loss is protein is highly, it has a high satiety factor, which means it keeps you full for longer periods of time. And the reason is this, right? Protein is harder to digest. And harder to digest, it stays in your stomach for longer periods of time, and basically eating more protein, you feel less hungry. So that reduces binging, that reduces eating unnecessary, that might hinder your fat loss. Okay? And another thing would be a very interesting study done either would consume regular breakfast, or some, in certain studies, they even skip breakfast. And countless of times, those studies show that a high protein breakfast, basically, the energy consumption right? So they only control to eat whatever they want. Interesting thing is this, the high protein group, so-called willingly consume less compared to the group that either skip breakfast or were on a low protein breakfast. So, I mean, don't think, right? Eating protein, pumping up protein on your breakfast would actually less. And very interesting because they showed in studies where eating protein actually reduces hunger hormones later in the day, right? And another thing is protein slows down gastric emptying. Gastric emptying is basically let's think of it that way. Your gastric is your gut system. So food getting out of the gut, that is gastric emptying. Protein slows down gastric emptying. So that's an amazing thing, right? Protein is such an amazing tool for when it comes to fat loss. It spares lean muscle mass. It allows you to stay full for longer periods of time, which is very important if you were to adhere to a so-called diet plan, right? And based on research, the amount you should consume is definitely higher than what you need when you decide to put on muscle. So based on research, 2.2 grams to 2.5 grams per kilo body weight is the range where it should fall in. And the bigger your deficit is, means the more weight you're trying to lose, the bigger your deficit is, the more protein you should consume. That's the reason, because spare as much meat. Yeah, so 2.2 grams per pound of, sorry, 2.2 grams to 2.5 grams per kilo body weight, right? So that's how much you should consume. Right, next slide. Okay, very, very controversial, right? Carbs. Everybody thinks carbs is the devil of fitness, right? Everybody say, no, I shall not eat carbs. Right? Look at this guy, right? Trust me, bro. No carbs after 6 p.m. Right? So they think carbohydrates is inherently evil, and eating carbohydrates will automatically make you fat, right? If that's the case, everybody in Japan would be fat. Everybody in Asian countries would be fat, right? And the fact of the matter is carbohydrate is the source of fuel. Means source of fuel for going to fat, right? And carbs, they're stored as muscle glycogen. So basically, fat, usually fats stored as fatty acids in your adipose tissues, and carbs are stored as muscle glycogen in your muscle. So the amazing thing about muscle glycogen is because carbs is your preferred source of fuel. If you're performing a high intensity exercise, your body would want to take carbs first, right? Let's say you're performing a sprint, right? A 200-meter sprint, and if you have no carbs at all, because you have no carbs, your body has to go further to tap in your other source of fuel, which makes your body less efficient, which reduces the amount of force you can put into the sprint. In short, you can reduce your performance, right? So, high volume workouts deplete your muscle glycogen. So basically doing a lot of repetitions, right? A lot of repetitions will deplete your muscle glycogen. And the fact is this, if you're trying to do a high volume workout, you don't really wake up early in the morning or just train completely fasted and do a high volume workout, right? Means with low, or when you're low on glycogen, and see how you feel. Right? Compare that to maybe feed yourself, maybe have a meal prior, like 2 to 3 hours prior, with like some protein and some carbs, and perform your workout after your meal. Highly likely you will perform better, especially on higher volume workouts, just because you need muscle glycogen for higher volume, and consuming a meal is lost, right? So if you think about it this way, carbs improve your performance, and improved performance means what? Higher output in the gym, right? And higher output, higher energy expenditure, which can translate to better gains in the end. All right? So carbs is not the devil. I want to say this is the bits of carbohydrates which I'm trying to let you all know. Right? Next slide. Right. More insight on carbs. Very, very important. People don't really talk about it, but carbs can play a role in central fatigue. What central fatigue is the mental aspect. There are studies where they show that people that are low on carbs give up faster, and if I'm not mistaken, they did a cycling study. People that didn't consume carbs perceive the exercise to be harder than those that did, even though output was the same, right? Exactly the same, but perception of how hard the exercise was, it was harder. So it plays a role in central fatigue, which means mentally fatigue. And that is because our brain relies on glucose, right, as fuel. And if your body is just short of carbs, your brain has no fuel for it. And even though you might be able to push, right, everything is governed by your brain in the end. Your brain will say, all right, come to be a zombie, right? The face you have when you're on the low can cause emotional distress and irritability, right? You get irritated much easily. Like, I don't know, have any of you been on a very low carb diet? You just feel, if you do, or if you don't any, please, don't make them angry. Don't ever make your girlfriends go on a low carb diet. Without the low carb diet, it might be bad enough. But with a low carb diet, it might be even worse, right? So, I mean, girlfriends or boyfriends, how much is enough? I mean, yeah, we'll talk about that later, right? So, next. Right, before we go to fat, so this was mainly talking about, and the basic thing is this, okay? How much should you consume? Think of carbohydrate as fuel for your body, right? If you're going to perform a high volume workout, right, you want to consume more carbohydrates, all right? And if you were to perform, let's say, if you're only going to perform a light jog for 30, 45 minutes on a carbs is a source of fuel for your body. And a lot of people ask me, how much exactly should I consume? And the fact of the matter is, uh, it's not preference. As an Asian, I love, so I tend to eat higher carb diet. And anywhere between, I would say, you start with like maybe 3.5 to 4 grams of carb, right, per kilo of body weight, all right, and see how you feel. If you're going on a fat loss plan, the most important thing at the end of the day is a calorie deficit, right? So a gram of protein carries 4 calories, a gram of carb carries 4 calories, and a gram of fat carries 9 calories. There are people who like consuming fatty foods more, then you need the balance, right? Protein always, right? The carbs and fat you can play around, right? When you eat fatty foods more, then you gotta understand eating more fatty foods